A Kentucky State Police trooper dies in an early morning car crash. We're tracking the investigation.
The case against a man accused of driving drunk and hitting and killing a Lexington lawyer moves forward. We're talking with the victim's law partners about why they say it's important they be here every time the defendant is here.
The Kentucky Wildcats kick off their fall camp. Coach Mark Stoops talks about what he still considers a work in progress with this year's team.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
We're tracking breaking news right now in Frankfort.
Police have started an investigation after finding a man dead. They made the discovery at an apartment on Deepwood Drive around 1:15 this afternoon. They're treating it as a homicide. WKYT's Garrett Weimer is live at the scene with the breaking details. Garrett?
Police are still on scene here investigating after they say they found that man dead inside his apartment here. Police say they got the call from a neighbor around 1:15 this afternoon. Investigators say they found a man in his 60s dead. They aren't identifying him yet until his family is notified, and the coroner is still on the scene here. Major Rob Warfel says right now they're calling it a death investigation, but they are treating it as a homicide.
Different evidentiary things on the scene here that we've noticed have led us to believe that it could potentially be that, so we're treating it as such.
Warfel says the investigation here is still in its very early stages, and investigators at this time are not releasing how they believe the man died. Live in Frankfort, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Garrett, thank you. Keep checking WKYT.com for the very latest updates on this story. A crash claimed the life of a Kentucky State Police trooper this morning.
It happened about 6:30 on Kentucky 210 in LaRue County near the Greene County line. The road has been closed most of the day while police investigate the crash. WKYT's Monique Blair is at the live desk with our top story at 5. Monique.
Well, Amber and Jennifer, Kentucky State Police say one of their own, 42-year-old Sergeant David Gibbs, was pronounced dead at the scene of a two-vehicle crash he was involved in this morning around 6:30. Police say Sergeant Gibbs was driving westbound in a Kentucky State Police cruiser on Kentucky 210 in LaRue County when he came into a set of sharp curves. Police say at that time, due to the weather, Sergeant Gibbs lost control of his cruiser, which then went into the path of oncoming traffic and was struck by a Jeep. Sergeant Gibbs was pronounced dead at the scene.
Anytime we have a loss or a fatality, it is extremely difficult for all parties involved, whether it be the families or the troopers or the officers or fire units involved. But especially when it's one of our own, it is very, very difficult for us to work the scene of one of these.
Kentucky State Police Trooper Kendra Wilson says Sergeant Gibbs' life revolved around working for the Kentucky State Police Department.
He was my friend. He will be a loss. It will be a great loss for the community. It will be a loss for the Kentucky State Police, and it'll be a loss personally.
Now, Kentucky State Police have not said where Sergeant Gibbs was driving to or whether he was working when that accident occurred. We are told Sergeant Gibbs was not married and did not have children. At the live desk, Monique Blair, WKYT.
The driver of the Jeep that collided with Sergeant Gibbs' cruiser was taken to an Elizabethtown hospital and treated for non-life-threatening injuries.
The case against a man accused of hitting and killing a Lexington lawyer while driving drunk is moving forward. Georgetown police say Odilon Paz Salvador hit and killed Mark Hinkle back in May. Hinkle was participating in the annual Horsey 100 ride. Today, Paz Salvador appeared in front of a judge in a Scott County Circuit courtroom. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy was there for the hearing.
We talked with members of Paz Salvador's family as well as friends of the victim, Mark Hinkle. They all plan on following this case and being here for every court appearance.
I feel like Mark needs a voice in the criminal justice system, and I want him to be represented. He's my law partner, has been my friend for a really long time, and I feel like it's something I need to do for him.
Two of Mark Hinkle's close friends and law partners sat in the courtroom Friday afternoon for Odilon Paz Salvador's arraignment. In an arrest citation from late May, Georgetown police officers wrote Paz Salvador admitted to them he drank 6 beers and smoked marijuana before the crash on Lemons Mill Road.
Your Honor, can we call Mr. Paz Salvador, please? He's in custody.
The judge entered a not guilty plea for him. He'll be back in court next month.
Paz Salvador's attorneys plan on talking with his family about paying his bond. They're hoping that the judge will lower it. In Georgetown, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Paz Salvador's wife didn't want to talk on camera today. Her husband's bond still stands at $500,000 full cash. Fire destroyed a man's home overnight. It happened on Camp Daniel Boone Road in Jessamine County. Charles Hall Sr. built that home himself 23 years ago. He and 9 family members were there last night, including 3 children. They all made it out safely.
But it's just one of them things happened. Could have been worse.
Hall and his family will move into a home next door that they have been building over the past several years.
Police have arrested a man they say severely beat his 4-month-old baby. Our county-by-county coverage at 5 begins in Hardin County. Radcliffe police say Daniel Cox hit the boy several times while driving. Witnesses saw the beating and called 911. Police didn't find Cox until they were called to the baby's mother's home because the boy was unresponsive. The baby's at Cosair Children's Hospital in critical condition and unable to breathe on his own. Cox is in jail on a $100,000 cash bond. In Wolfe County, crews will continue the search for a missing camper this weekend. Josh Atkins disappeared from the Coomer Ridge campground area in the Red River Gorge last Saturday. Crews will be out with dogs and drones tomorrow to try to find Atkins. They continue to ask other campers to be on the lookout and call authorities if they see anything. Police need help to find 2 people who stole bourbon from a liquor store. Richmond police say the pair took 2 bottles from the liquor mart Wednesday. They were driving a 1994 Toyota and may be from Irvin. Police say they know who the owner of the car is and they're trying to find him.
After a couple of rainy days, we have much better weather moving in. Saturday will be a great day to enjoy some outdoor plans. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is here now with the weekend forecast.
Yeah, starting things out with very, very nice temperatures out there, though a lot of low-level moisture just keeping those clouds in place. We've had some peaks of sun this afternoon, but the clouds are just winning the battle flat out right now. Cloudy view into Lexington, but a lot more bark than bite coming from the skies. No real precipitation to speak of, though can we squeeze out a little shower into eastern Kentucky? It's a possibility. With the clouds around, those temperatures are mainly upper 70s across most of central Kentucky. Winds are coming from the northwest at around 3 miles per hour as of now. Most areas, again, upper 70s across the I-64 corridor. You get to the north, we've got more in the way of sun, so the temperatures have hit the low 80s. To the south, yeah, not so much. Look at the thermometer here in the Danville, 73, 72. Into the middle of an August afternoon into downtown Somerset. Cloud cover continues to show up across the region, but again, a couple of holes now beginning to show up. We are going to turn a little warmer for the weekend. We'll talk about how that may lead to eventually some scattered thunderstorms ahead of a strong cold front that will blow into town early next week. And behind that, it is a true blast of September air that is taking aim at central and eastern Kentucky. We'll put a track on that front and show you when it arrives after the weekend forecast, of course, in about 10 minutes.
Feels like football weather. The start of college football season is just a few weeks away.
Today, the Wildcats kicked off their fall camp. Coach Mark Stoops says he is seeing some differences in his team. WKYT's Rob Bromley's here now to explain. Hi, Rob.
Hello, and the Cats are in fall camp. They hit the practice field for the first time as a team this afternoon. But before practice, it was media day. Mark Stoops introducing his 3rd team, which he said will be better. The Stoops has now had 3 recruiting classes come through the door, and it's starting to show with this team physically.
We feel like we've recruited good bodies, some good length, some good size, and then you need to develop those guys. And I feel like we're getting, more where we want to be, So we're not, we're still a work in progress physically as well as we are mentally, but we're getting better. That's for sure. We have more bodies to work with. We look better.
Much more coming up shortly in sports. We will hear from the quarterbacks, Patrick Tolles and Drew Barker. Mark Stoops holding off until fall camp to name a starter.
All right, Rob, thank you. The Cats have 8 home games this season, starting with Louisiana Lafayette on September 5th. Jurors have reached a decision on a sentence for James Holmes. We have an update ahead.
Many teenagers spend a lot of time texting, but it may be playing an important role in their lives. Why they like it so much later in Better Living.
And one woman is embarking on a mission after her son's death, what she wants done to the road where he died in a car crash on WKYT News at 5:30.